Good evening and welcome to the Baron's Game Room. I am your host, Count Aaron. Today we are discussing Horrified. Horrified is a scary good time for 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, and plays in about an hour. Horrified is a cooperative game where players work together to save the town from evil monsters. Setup and difficulty will vary depending on which monsters you choose to take on in each game. You may take on anywhere from 2 to 4 monsters. Regardless of which monsters you choose, give each player a hero and the corresponding mover piece. Each hero's card will show their starting location on the board. Place the terror token at 0. Place the frenzy marker on the monster with the lowest frenzy number. Shuffles the monster deck and set it to the side, and shuffles the perk deck and deal 1 to each player, then set the remaining off to the side. On the back of every monster card is special setup rules for each monster. Lastly, draw 12 items from the bag and place them in their proper locations on the board. On a player's turn, they will perform a number of basic actions or special actions stated on their hero card. They may perform up to the number of actions allowed by their hero card. Generally, you will be moving around the board in order to pick up items to complete special tasks to defeat the monsters. You will also spend some time guiding villagers around town, getting them to their safe locations before monsters get them. The items scattered around the board all have colors and numbers that can be used to fight against monsters when they catch you, or to complete special tasks in order to destroy the monsters. Between each player's turn is the monster's turn. For the monster's turn, simply draw the top card of the monster deck and resolve all parts of it. The top of the card shows how many items you need to draw from the bag and add to the board. The center are any events that happen this turn, and the bottom shows which monsters will move and attack this turn. For each monster you see here, move them this number of spaces towards the closest hero or villager. Then, if they are on the same space as any hero or villagers, they will attack with this many dice. If there are equal distances away, it is up to the players to decide which way the monster will go. When a monster attacks, these are misses, good for you. These are hits, bad for you. If a hero is hit by a monster, they may discard away an item card they've collected to avoid the hit. Otherwise, they are struck by the monster and must leave the board. When a hero or villager is defeated by a monster, move the terror tracker up 1. Then, on that player's next turn, they will place themselves on the board at the hospital. Unfortunately, villagers cannot protect themselves. If a monster attacks a villager, they are instantly defeated. If the terror tracker ever reaches the final space, the heroes lose the game and the monsters win. If a monster ever rolls this during their attack, they will perform their signature ability. If the monster deck ever runs out of cards, then the heroes have taken too long and the monsters win. If the heroes complete all of the special tasks for defeating each monster, then the heroes win the night. Now y'all, I absolutely love this game. I want to show y'all it in color real quick, because I think it has such great, vibrant art, and everything just looks so good in my opinion. I really love how every monster plays differently. I think some of my favorites are the Mummy and the Invisible Man. I just kind of like the Invisible Man, and the Mummy has this really cool sliding puzzle. Actually, let me show you real quick. To defeat the Mummy, you have to take actions moving these pieces around this board, trying to get all of them locked into the right places. While I stand by my statement that pretty much all the monsters feel different to me, I will also say that generally most of them are you going around the board to certain places, grabbing certain items to complete the task. With the big standouts being the Mummy and Frankenstein and the Bride, whose whole thing is they're trying to meet together, so you have to constantly be pushing them away from each other so they don't meet up until you've properly taught them how to be good people. As far as the heroes go, I really like most of their abilities. I think it's pretty thematic sometimes. Some of them kind of seem to go with certain monsters, which is cool to me. And personally, I'm just always down for any sort of spooky themed and cooperative style game. I really like both those things in games I play. Real talk, the first night me and my wife got this game, we ended up playing it 3 times in a row just so we could try out all the monsters. We did the first 2 monsters they recommend for a novice game, then by complete accident we ended up picking the next 2 monsters that are both marked as medium difficulty, which meant for the last game we got stuck fighting the 2 hardest monsters. Ended up winning every time, and definitely had some close calls though. Super had a great time. Also, if you're not into classic movie monsters, there's 2 other versions of this game. There's American Monsters, which has like Sasquatch, Chupacabra, Mothman, stuff like that, cryptids. And then there is the Greek Monsters one, which has like Minotaurs and Medusas and things like that. So maybe those pique your interest instead. I love the look, I love the theme, I love the gameplay. Horrified is definitely Baron approved. I hope you had a scary good time. Good evening. Good night, and don't let the vampire bite.